Hello everyone. My name is Mark and you're watching Mark Shelley Aquatics. I've been working on bunches of new stuff lately. I've got lots of new lights. I've got tons and tons of baby shrimp everywhere. And so I thought I'd show you guys exactly what is going on when all the progress I've made on so many of these tanks. One of the things I have discovered here in the last year or so is that having a good light and not just plant growth, but awesome plant growth will help your shrimp tremendously. That has made all the difference as I am learning how to make more and more shrimp on a more consistent and better basis. It's always making more shrimp and making better shrimp here at Mark Shelley Aquatics. I wanted to take the time to thank all you guys who watch my videos and comment, and then you guys who buy stuff on my website. That allows me to do this full time and to take your basic humble cherry shrimp to whole new levels for me. My website, markshellyaquatics.com, has been insanely busy, so busy with all these tanks and filling orders that it is getting harder and harder to make YouTube videos for you guys, but I'm doing the best I can. The website has been so busy that there are a lot of lines that I have to limit these days. So I know a lot of you guys have questions about some of the shrimp being in stock, and for what I'm doing now is on certain lines that stay out of stock, check back every Friday afternoon, and that's when I restock. So what it is if I keep everything in stock all the time, you guys are buying me out of some lines, so I have to slow down because I always breed everything myself. Nothing is ever bought or imported or anything. Everything that I have on my website, everything you see in all these videos, is homebred by myself at Mark Shelley Aquatics. Alright, here, the first tank we're going to look at here is my highest grade reds. Now, my goal is to get them to be at fire red level status. Now, by a lot of standards, a lot of people call these fire red, but I'm holding on to them. I'm not selling them. I'm making them better and better, and this is my red line. I restart. I let them breed out for 6 months. Pick out the very, very best ones, put them aside, remove all the other shrimp that are left, and then put back only the very, very best and let those breed out. I'm on my second time of doing that with this tank, and it's starting to pay off. The quality of red shrimp is getting higher and higher and higher. There's some really good looking males in here, and that's hard to come by with my red line and most of my other red tanks. But I've been working on this line. I still pick out the bad ones when I see them. And then here is my newer Blue Dreams 20 gallon tank, 20 gallon long. Look at all this tank is baby madness. Look at all these little babies. This tank I have a blue shrimp tank that I restart with only the best. I've done that. This is on its 4th time, and I took some shrimp from that tank to start this. So these guys should be really, really good. Super excited about this line. This line is really, really good. It really is. I really like these blue shrimp a lot. I mean, and then the babies, my Blue Dreams line, it just keeps going crazy and crazy and crazy. Every tank I put these guys in, they just mass produce so quickly. It's crazy. I love these Blue Dreams. And here we have my red mosaic guppy line. I still keep it, I think, 3 guppy lines and a 4th project line. I still love guppies, so I still keep them. I don't stay on top of them as good as I probably should. Well, I do. I've been pretty good. It's easier when you don't have whole bunches of guppy tanks to keep track of and you only got a few. So I have 4 guppy tanks that I keep going, and then I have my guppy pond still. But I love guppies. I'll always have a couple guppy tanks, no matter how big of a shrimp breeder I become, no matter how much tanks I have devoted to shrimp, there's still a special place for guppies. Alright, here's my special Project Bloody Mary 20 gallon tank. Now this tank has crazy light. This is one of the tanks. I put a 40-watt light on a 20-gallon long, and for me, that is outrageously bright. I've done that on 2 or 3 tanks. It is, for me, this is super outrageously bright. But the brighter you can get it and not have algae problems, the more plants you grow, because you start growing algae, it's not so good. If you get your plants growing super good in high bright light and avoid algae problems, your shrimp, my shrimp, do a whole lot better. And then here's another 20-gallon long, and this is a blue jelly tank. And this is another one that has a 40-gallon light, or 40-watt light on a 20-gallon long. And that, I've never seen these guys with such a good light. They just glow. It is amazing. Look at these blue jellies. They just glow under that good light. So dark substrate and a really good light, you can really make these blue jellies pop. It is amazing. I love these guys. Look at all the little light blue, sky blue jewels in this tank. They just look like little gemstones. They're so beautiful. I mean, just look at that. That is amazing. Wow. Crazy how good these guys look. Man, I have to say, these are my favorite. That's my favorite line of blue jellies. Alright, that was 5 20-gallon long racks. Now we're going to start looking at some of the 40 gallons here on the floor. And this is what I call my blue velvet. Now I understand there's a couple different ways people name blue velvets. Some people call blue jellies blue velvets. And some people call blue velvets blues from reds. And then there's other people that refer to blue velvets as Blue Dream and Blue Dream Coals as the same line. So that's how I do it. Back when I was selling wholesale, the guy that was buying my shrimp, the Blue Dreams who didn't quite have solid coloration, they had kind of a splotchy darkness to them. He sold those as blue velvets. So, as you can see here, these are the same Blue Dream line. They're just the ones I've picked out. They're not quite good enough. A lot of them come in here, and a lot of them end up in the Skittles tank. And speaking of Skittles, this is the Skittles tank right here beside the blue velvets. This is where most of my culls, and like when I do the resetting tanks, and I only keep the best, I throw all the other ones in here. Sometimes with the blues, I have a couple tanks where I keep different colors, the culls from different colors separate. But this is where almost all the culls come. Now, some of them are bad culls, some of them are just, they're not the best of the best culls. So, any shrimp that's being taken out of whatever project it comes from ends up in here. Then they're allowed to breed and do all kinds of things, and then you get the mixed genetics, you get all kinds of cool realies. I don't even have a really line. But I get lots of really cool really shrimp in here. Snowballs look really cool in here. There's a nice buried red really right there. Alright, now this is my new green jade 40-gallon tank. Now, I'm getting ready to have to do a whole bunch of culling because this is a brand new tank. But we have tons and tons of babies. And lemon blue-eyed pleckles are pretty cool too. Long fins and short fins. So, now that this population of shrimp, these green jade in this 40-gallon is starting to boom, I'm going to come through here. I'll probably make a video about calling these guys. I've made a couple videos about making this tank and calling it out the first time. Now that the shrimp population is really starting to get going, it's time to call these guys out again, and I'll take you guys along for that journey here in the next couple weeks. But that is coming up on my to-do list really quick. These guys are doing so good. They look really good too. There's just some brownish and wild green looking ones, but that's how green jades are. They're really hard to keep good. And then right next to that, we have the 40-gallon Bloody Mary tank. I just keep scooping shrimp out of here, and I don't run out. I don't know how or why. How many shrimp are in here? This tank has had better light on it than some of the others for a long time. And these guys have always boomed. And I think it might help. I have longfin green dragon plecos in this tank as well, so I do keep this tank at 75. And I think that keeps them breeding faster and faster. I think there's a little bit to that, but I still prefer to keep them at room temperature because heaters are a big pain in the butt to deal with. Alright, so then we come over here, and now we're looking at a 20-gallon long. This is my second snowball shrimp tank. These guys are one of my most prolific lines, along with the Blue Dreams. These guys are insane. It's like this tank. This is my project tank and Skittles feeder tank. I just take out some of the best ones every 6 months or so, and then everything else goes in the Skittles tank to be sold as Skittles shrimp. And this tank right here is how the snowballs end up in the Skittles. And then this is my trouble tank. I don't even have a pleco in here. I haven't scraped a glass. This tank was really struggling. It's my orange shrimp tank on the floor, 20-gallon long. And it was just kind of not doing much. So I ended up putting a second light on it. This thing has crazy light on it now. And in the last few months, the shrimp population has just boomed. And then I started seeing this tank doing good like this. That's when I bought even more lights and started pushing the issue with getting my lights as bright as I possibly can without fighting algae too bad. Shrimp love the lights. It grows biofilm, grows the plants, makes shrimp tanks happy. Now this tank is a blue jelly tank, blue jelly moss tank, and we're having a little bit of algae problems here. I did a real big water change on it just yesterday. And I treated with hydrogen peroxide, and the algae is bubbling with the peroxide and making it float, making the moss float. Here is my Japan blue guppies, the guppy line I keep. I've had these guys forever, got them from my buddy Valley Fish. And I like them a lot, and I'll probably keep these guys forever. They're super cool, beautiful, love the blue. And here's a 20-gallon long green jade tank. Now, I did catch some shrimp out here earlier today, so I didn't put more food in here to gather them all up, because I caught some out of here today to be sold. This is a really good, long time established green jade tank. I start new green jade tanks. This is the tank I have to take them out of, right here. I start new green jade tanks. This is my best of the best green jades. And then over here we have another lot tank that I've been working on a lot. It's really disturbed. This is my 40-gallon blue jelly tank. This is the main tank I sell blue jellies out of. And there's tons and tons in here. The tank's all stirred up and cloudy. Like I said, I've been working on it. Cleaned out the filters a couple, 4 or 5 days ago, I do believe. And I recently put a new bright light on here. So it is, sometimes with the bright lights you end up getting a little, I don't get super bad green water, but it's just a touch of green water that makes it look cloudy. And that's why a lot of my tanks you see are cloudy, because I'm really pushing the envelope as far as how bright of a light I can put on these tanks, because it's really paying dividends on the amount of shrimp I am producing in the plant growth. 40-gallon orange Neocaridina shrimp tank. This tank is really coming along. It's doing super good. I mean, we still have to pick out the reds, and these guys will throw a few wilds here and there. But generally speaking, I mean, 9 out of 10 shrimp in here are super good. And you get some absolute big giant female stunners. These guys, the population is really booming on here. I didn't have orange on the website available for a long time. Now they are. They're doing really good. And then this is another 40-gallon. This is a super red pleco tank, jungle val tank, and a bunch of red shrimp and some blue jellies I'm mixing, trying to make red realies. And just look at how many shrimp are in here. Lots of plecos, lots of jungle val. So this tank serves 3 purposes: breeding shrimp, breeding plecos, and growing tons and tons of jungle val. If you buy jungle val off my website, 99% chance it comes out of here because I only have 2 tanks with jungle val. And this is the main one. The other one is my 29-gallon Panda Guppy tank, and we'll see that here real soon. As you can see, we got some blue jellies mixed in there, and if you look real close, you'll see some red rillies. You'll see some in there if you look really close. And there's some wilds in there too. There's one that kind of looks like a blue-red rilly. It's mostly a blue jelly, but it's got red dots on its head and butt. There's some really good ones we're getting. We're getting some rillies popping up in here. That is awesome. Another tank that's complete. I just redone this tank last week. I did a video on it. My 40-gallon Blue Dreams. There's literally thousands of Blue Dream shrimp in here. And hundreds of little baby plecos. I've been working on calling these guys out. I talked about last week how I was going to continuously work on calling these guys out. I probably got about 30 or 40 more out a couple days ago. And again, super bright light. Been working on stirred up, so we got some cloudy water in here, but it's not a big deal. Eventually it will clear up and looking good again. This is my 110-gallon guppy pond. So when I had tons and tons of guppy lines, this was essentially what my Skittles tank is now. Whenever a guppy wasn't good enough, not the diseased or unhealthy ones, but good healthy fish that just didn't fit to the line, they all come in here, and then eventually when I started converting all my guppy tanks into shrimp tanks, all the guppies that were left, they all just got thrown in here. And now I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. That's not the pump and that water moving at the surface. Those are just hundreds and hundreds of guppies begging for food at the surface. There's all kinds of beautiful colors in here. Every guppy and endler I've ever kept has genetics in this 110-gallon stock tank. And this is also where I grow lots and lots of plants. If you bought mermaid weed off me, this is where it comes from. Look at all that mermaid weed. This is my first attempt at a shrimp pond. I did this back in March. So we're coming up on 8 months now. And I mean, I don't even have words to describe how good this is doing. I haven't pulled any shrimp out of here yet. Waiting for my 40-gallon Bloody Mary tank to start getting low, and then I'm going to replace the 40-gallon Bloody Marys with shrimp out of here. So as the 40-gallon Bloody Mary tank gets low that I sell out of, I'll restock it with shrimp out of here. So then every shrimp that comes out of here is gone over really good before it goes in the tank to be sold in the 40-gallon Bloody Mary colony. There's thousands of shrimp in here. Every inch of the wall, of all the walls all the way around this 100-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank is covered in shrimp. Just covered. All right, now we're gonna go to my 20 talls, and this is turned another tank that has crazy light. I added another light on here, so this thing went from these 4 20-gallon hives went from 1 light, and now they have 3 lights. Pretty crazy. The moss is just exploded. The shrimp are doing good. This whole tank is just a giant mat of moss. Here's the snowball tank. This is the snowball tank I sell out of. We got tons and tons of babies. These guys boom and bust. Though their population will max out, and then pull some out, or sometimes snowball shrimp get hot on the website. There's a couple months ago I sold like 300 of these within a couple weeks, and then their population's maxed out, and then now they're breeding like crazy again. There's tons of babies in there. This is my Blue Dream shrimp tank that I talked about at the very beginning of the video, where I reset and reset and reset, and this is on its 4th time. There's a few calls in here I got to get out, but the consistency on these and the darkness of them is amazing. This is my best Blue Dream line for sure. It's my special project line, and when I start new Blue Dream shrimp tanks, they come from this. Now this is my guppy project tank. I got some Japan blue red mosaic looking things that popped up in my pond, and I started seeing them pretty regularly. I was like, I gotta do something with those. So I scooped out 4 of the best ones I could find, and then I found a handful of virgin red mosaic females. So females are pure red mosaics. The males are old and bedraggled now, but the fry's starting to color up again. It's looking really good. Fun guppy project. And look at who's in my way. I'm trying to film this, and she's trying to jump on my lap. That is Bailey, my Australian Shepherd, who just turned 1. So this is my 75-gallon red shrimp tank. These guys are pretty good. They really are. The females, almost all the females really are fire red quality. Most of them are. But the males are really, that's why I'm working on a fire red tank on that 20-gallon. The very first tank we talked about was that tank. And this is a 75-gallon. This is more producing lots and lots of good shrimp, where the fire red tank is making really good shrimp. But this is about making a lot of good shrimp. And here's a 20-gallon long orange tank. There's the orange decal I've been working on. I'll be able to make those available more here soon. And we got orange. This is one of my project orange tanks. It is exploding, doing good. Really happy with how these guys are looking. The quality is a little bit lower on this because this tank got mixed up, had some wilds mixed up in it, like a year ago. And so now we're working on getting this line back. But I've reset it like 3 times. I don't let it go for 6 months. I reset it every 3 or 4 months. And this tank is really coming along really nice. Lots of berry females. Orange shrimp are so pretty. I love them a lot. Really do. You can see there's some deads in here, but for the most part, they're all really good. And then this is the 29-gallon Panda Guppy tank. This tank is just Florida Sunset Crips and Jungle Val. I said 99% of the time I sell Jungle Val out of the 40-gallon. Today, Jungle Val took over the whole front of this tank. The whole front of the part of the tank is supposed to be for the Crips, but the Jungle Val took over the front too. So I pulled out tons and tons of it today and sent out the orders. Look at all that Jungle Val. This tank is so nice. I really like the Panda Guppies. Now here's my 75-gallon green jade tank. And look at this tank is doing so good. I oversold it and I was struggling for a while. Put these new lights on and everything just, shrimp started breeding out really good again. Got them back on the website. Look how good some of these are. Wow. And the consistency, I've got these guys doing pretty good for green jays. Like I said earlier, green jays are the hardest line. You got this many shrimp and this many good ones. Now I do call on this tank, not all the time, but every month or so I'll go through and pull out probably 10 to 50 of them, depending on how much time I put into it. But it's paying off. Green jades are looking really good. I'm super happy with them. Look at all the little babies and the huge piles of moss in this tank. All that moss is just covered in little baby green jades. Super awesome. Now, these are the stuff we've done in the last. This tank is on its 4th week. This is my blue jelly 100-gallon shrimp pond, my 2nd shrimp pond I made. All the little tiny babies I put in here, they're starting to grow up. The first couple weeks, I'd come over here and try to find shrimp. I'd have to look just to find 1 or 2. And now you come over here and you can see 15 or 20 super easy because all the little tiny babies are growing up, getting big enough to see. Some of the adult females I've seen buried. So there'll be another video. This will be a video coming up soon where we've got it about a month into it after a quick cycle. And it's to the point where I feel comfortable. I've not seen 1 dead shrimp in here. We're getting tons of snails like we do in my ponds. but that means signs of life. It means this thing is doing good. Mermaid weed is growing nicely. Super good. I'm super excited. That moss is filling in really nice. Mermaid weed's taking off. All that mold from doing my quick cycle is gone. This is the brand new tank. This was set up last week, and it's doing good. Look how red this weed is turning under this light, and even the mermaid weed you'll see has a red tint to it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, checking out all my tanks, all the tanks here at Mark Shelley Aquatics. I'd like to thank you again for keeping me so busy and allowing me. Without your support, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I'm doing now. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do mean it. Thank you guys. Can't thank you guys enough. Look at that. Now, if you guys watch this video, you remember I actually only put like 150 little baby shrimp, and I put a handful of adults in here, and then some of these guys are turning up berry. So this tank, brand new. Look how green that moss is, and the reddish tints to the stem plants with the underneath the good light. Oh man, this tank is gonna be sweet. Look at all the little baby blues, looking fabulous for a tank that's only a week old. So again, I cannot thank you guys enough. Hope you enjoyed my little tour of all my tanks. I'm doing the best I can making videos. I'm super busy these days. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.